All right, 6.12. Let's go ahead and make motion second, and then we'll do discussion, okay? So I'm looking for a motion, the board approves the tentative tax levy for 2015. All right, so take Kyle and Joel. All right, discussion. Kyle, go.
I just wanted to make sure we were all on the same page as far as raising the percentage or leaving it as is from last year.
Yeah. And I think that's where the discussion had come in. I'm trying so hard not to speak because there's just nasty things that want to come out of my mouth. But I think the college has to understand that this board isn't just a rubber stamp, as I was personally called several years ago by somebody. And we're not going to just approve everything that's put in front of us just because it's put on the agenda. And sometimes we're gonna vote things down. And I think we made it very clear last month to please bring it back to us. You know, state your case, state a stronger case of why you need it, and then we would reconsider it. And yet, my understanding is that everybody was up in arms, and we're the worst board in the world, and how can we do that, and we don't understand the college's mission, and I would just like to remind those people that may have had something to say about it, where this college was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, as to where we are today. And so anyone who thinks that this board doesn't understand the college's mission simply because we wanted further discussion and further information on something really needs to reconsider speaking out loud. So that goes to your question of do we raise it or do we stay where we are?
Question.
That's what this discussion is for, I guess.
So this is saying that the average taxpayer will receive an increase of 0.8.
Yeah.
So that means that the taxes of the residents will increase.
It's 0.0.
0.0 to 0.8.
If the backside here shows
Yeah.
that's what we're on.
And then, Vice President Saban, can you help me understand when you were speaking about where this money goes and why the college needs it? Besides what we already received from the state that we're not receiving because the budget has been passed, so is this like a double?
No, the money from the state is $4 million that we're not receiving.
Okay.
This money is about $12.3 million.
That comes from the residents?
Rents comes from the residents, it's 25% of our operating budget. And it's a routine approval generally for every taxing body that, you know, has a district that can tax. In fact, we're required by state statute to set this levy annually. The detail law under which we are subject allows automatically, if you ask for a 0.8% increase, that's the CPI. And we have asked for 2.97% increase because if there are any developments or if there are any Walmarts or Meninos or something that comes through and adds to the tax base, and we don't ask for that levy of the property taxes that they would pay, we won't get it, and we'll never get it for perpetuity under the property tax limitation law that as a Collier County we're subject to. So, I mean, without this money, I mean, we do it every year. It's not like this is something new. It's not a referendum. But this money goes across the board. It supports operating fund, the operations and maintenance fund, the plant fund, the audit fund, the liability fund, the debt service fund. So, I mean, it's just the vehicle that the state has put in place for us to operate the college, the basic funding that we need to operate the college every single year.
If the board so chooses,
That's
though, to
correct.
take advantage of that. So I think, you know, just saying it's routine or it's done every year, you know, this time around, the board said, yeah, we don't think so.
Well, that's, you're forfeiting $12 million.
And just so that everyone knows, Dr. Saban and President Winfrey have worked extensively in the last month, sending us figures and documents and letters and memos explaining this in much deeper and the ramifications if this doesn't pass. I think the board just wants to make it clear that simply because something happens every year doesn't necessarily mean that it's gonna happen next year. Does that answer your question, Bernetta?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, it does, it helps make it clear, but I guess I'm still confused at the money that comes from the state. I know we're not getting it yet. So are you saying that both of these funds help the college, but if it's like up and down, if we don't approve it, will the college still hurt from not having it? Maybe
The
that's.
college will have to begin to, not be the college that you know, $12 million out of a $30 million operating budget. I mean, we'll be shuttering. We'll be shuttering programs, and I mean, we'll be in trouble if we don't get this. We'll be shuttering doors.
That's what I want to do. That's what I want to understand. I'm taking to basics for me. I need to understand the ABC of it.
And I just wish that people in the college would understand that, sorry,
Question.
yeah, go for it.
So, Chair, you can say, so how much with the 0.8 versus the 2.5? What's the difference?
The 2.5, 2.97 in this case is $365,000. The 0.8 is $98,000.
I just wish people in the college would have more faith in this board, that we have shown over and over and over and over how we are so behind this college and how we want to see it succeed. And at the end of the last meeting, when we stressed over and over and over that we were going to bring it back and that we were gonna look over it again, I don't understand why people were, oh, it's time to find a new job, oh, the sky is falling, oh, the board doesn't understand the college's mission. Really? Just because we wanted more information on something? Did you have something, Mark?
Well,
No? Oh, Wendell, did you start?
no, so my only reservation about it was that the fact that, being my tenure on this board, I don't think that we have done as a proven job, as a board with how the finances with this institution, whether it be creating new positions or raises for administrators. And so I don't agree. I voted against it because I've already seen how we waste money. And anybody can tell me that you've been efficient and effective with what we have, but I don't. And so that's why I don't support it.
Nada, did you have something else?
Oh, she was just helping,
Okay.
trying to help
discussing-
understanding.
Sure.
When we're voting, are we voting for that 2.5 raise, or are we voting for yes?
So, but you said 0.8.
Yeah.
Well, 0.8 is what we would be entitled to if nothing happens. But if we don't ask for more, and something good does happen, like EAVs go up, or TIFs expire, you know,
Or the new
and we just had
Walmart
one in
comes in.
Homewood that expired and returned almost $100,000 to the taxing bodies, which is us, one of them, in Bloom schools, township schools and everything, or new development, or anything. We won't ever be able to get to take advantage of that for perpetuity. If you don't ask for it now, and it goes up, you'll never be able to ask for it again. And you won't get
It
it.
wasn't too many years ago, Richton Park came here and the mayor came and brought a check
Mm-hmm.
to us. And then there was one that's been more years ago than that, but I went and received a check from the village of Matheson. Because what happens is something goes off, the TIF district expires, so then there are now funds. We would not be entitled to any of those funds, or the new businesses that are coming into town, if they're not on a TIF district.
Okay,
So
hold on, because a lot of people don't know what a tip
okay,
is.
tax incentive, so a lot of times to recruit a large business, they're gonna give them a benefit. You know, we're trying to entice
There's
you.
a tax break for 10 years. You only have to pay this amount of money. Well, at the 11th year, now they pay at this
And
rate.
sometimes they're not even 10 years, I mean, they can be different years. But sometimes, and that's, you know, so there are some places that they're not even offering tax breaks. So when somebody comes in, we need to be able to get that revenue, the tax revenue.
So if it's voted down, then we would not be
We would not get
recipients of those breaks that you get from those big box stores that come
Right.
into the communities.
All right, I think, we all ready to vote? All right, go ahead.
Trustee Moe,
Aye.
trustee Mulhern,
Aye.
trustee Wild. Trustee Corley, trustee Bukowski,
Aye.
trustee Grodman.
Aye.
I say aye.
I say aye. Faculty report.
Well, I'm shocked by all this because I wasn't here. I didn't realize that anything exciting went on.
Oh, yeah. It was, everybody hates the board again. I felt like it was
Well,
5 years ago.
this is the burden of being an elected official, right? I mean, this is the problem you see when.
No, the burden of being an elected official is not being able to say what you want to say.
Oh.
That's what I think.
Madam Chair,
Me, I
I
absorbed
think
the
we
Yes,
would
she
all,
did.
I think we would all agree that we believe everything that you say when it comes out. You speak from the heart, and I don't doubt you in that sense, right? This is the problem always we have. I mean, as political scientists, it's funny. Everybody hates Congress, but everybody loves their congresswoman or man.
When they need money, yeah.
Yeah, and that, well, even without that, right? So, but, you know, as someone in the district, I think I have to talk maybe on 2 points. As someone in the district, right, I think it came as a big shock, the last vote. And I think that created some of that anxiety that you were talking about, Charity, and the response. Because those of us that are dependent on education for our income and for our future, it hasn't been a great year in the sense of vocalizing coming from Springfield, vocalizing coming from the locals and so forth and so on. But I do think the board does need to be commended, and the administration has to be commended. And I've always said this since I've gotten here. I think we were at 10% of our budget coming from the state. But we pushed that down, and I think Dr. Saban has told me now that we're at somewhere around 9% coming from the state. That's fantastic now, and I know, Madam Chair, you voiced this in the past and votes on this, that the idea of fiscal conservatism, right? And I always want to point out to, not to just to you guys, because you guys realize this, but also individuals that are part of my membership, that this is the prime example of fiscal conservatism, is local government and local government control of those funds. There is no other governmental body, except for maybe the school boards, that have such direct control over the budget, right? You guys approve the budget, you approve the revenue source, right? You approve how it will be spent. You guys are completely and totally in control of that process, right? And so when it seems like there's a hiccup in that process, that sends great waves of anxiety through us, because we know ultimately we depend on you. Right? We do depend on you. And as I said, over the last 10 years since I came here, I was shocked because I have colleagues whose institutions at the community college level are 51% dependent on the state of Illinois. Now, of course, the people of the district, along with yourselves as the representatives, should take great pride in that also, right? That we, though, if I might speak, because I live in Creed, I'm in the district, right? If you noticed on your cheat sheet, Will County, I'm getting hit higher than you that live in Cook, right? I don't live in fancy Cook County with his cap on assessments. No, I don't get that privilege, right? I'm 10 minutes away and I get hit higher, right? But I know, as a kid that only found his chance at a community college. And I've said this before, it wasn't once, it wasn't twice, it wasn't 3 times, right? Maybe I'll stop there, since Rodney's still in the room. Classically, right? But it's that commitment and that community believing in this college and paying that money and subsidizing a kid like me, Chair, Moraine Valley, right? I'm going blank, Dr. Thomas, sorry. Queensborough Community College, Moraine Community College, right? And we stand,
Community College,
right.
Prairie State.
Yeah, let me count, Joliet Junior College, let's see, what's, the one in Bloomington is going blank.
Parkland.
Heartland.
No, Parkland was a little bit out of my district. And Heartland and Carl Sandburg Community College, I truly owe a debt to those taxpayers in those districts. Because without their dedication, with their idea of social justice, right? Without them embracing the idea that, hey, this is worth the investment, I'm not sure where I would be. I'm not sure where I would be. I doubt if I'd been in education. I doubt if I'd be in positions that have allowed me to affect students in such a way that have improved their lives. Right. And the same way with you. You can point to education in your past life that has put you in this position to allow you to affect change as you do. So again, I think some of that reaction was caused by that, right? In the sense that we are, as you are, tremendously wed to this idea of community colleges. And when it seems like it bumps, we get scared. Not only for our own people, but for what we're doing in the community. And if we misinterpreted that, I apologize. But I do thank you for coming forward and supporting that idea and keep that idea running, right? Because I know you're dedicated to it. It's not a doubt. We might disagree over the details, right? Can I call them details? Right? Right. But I truly believe that you do love this institution and that together we'll continue to move forward. So again, I appreciate you coming back and revisiting the issue and voicing what concerns you have for us. So that we as a community can make sure that when we do sit down, that we have, it's not a surprise in that sense. Because again, as a political scientist, someone in the community, I understand the board has the power. And I would never question the board's authority over the institution. It just came as a shock to us. So thank you for that. And I'm always open for questions. So thank you.
Please let the faculty know that I have shown my dedication to the school tonight by ruining my voting record
I know.
of 8 years.
I wasn't going to bring it up. I thought you
Rude!
might.
I can never run for public office again.
I thought you might. I didn't want to. I didn't want to highlight it because, like I said, that would have been the shock if they had told me.
That I voted yes,
yeah,
I know,
yeah. So,
and I did.
yeah. So I appreciate that. So thank you.
Peggy,